Hello, so today we are going to do this problem called delete node in a linked list, which is part of Leetcode October Daily Challenge. So the question is, we get a linked list head and we want to delete a node in it. Actually, we get the node in the function like you see here, but we don't get the head of the linked list. So that's the tricky part here. And we want to delete that node. And by deleting, they don't mean like physically remove that node reference, but what they mean here is we remove it from memory. So basically the value of the given node should no longer exist in the linked list. So that's the first part. And then the number of nodes in the linked list needs to decrease by 1 because we are removing one node. And all the values before node should be still in the same order. And all the values after should be in the same order. So roughly what they are saying is that they don't care how we remove it, but it's just we need what was before to stay before, what was after to stay after, and in the same order, and the new value that should not be there anymore, right? So if you take a look at this example here, the value we want to remove is 5, and so once we remove it, we get this. If we take a look at this, that's the main example basically. So how do we the other one actually is removing this one, and so we get this. So how can we do this? We can definitely we get actually reference to only the node, so we don't know about what was before it, so we can't do 4 and then next equal to 1. We can't do that, but what we can do is actually just, what if we just replace, so just starting from here, make the value 1 and make the value 9 here, and then just remove this 9, right? That should work. They didn't say not to replace the values, right? And if we take a look at doing it here, well, instead of deleting, actually, we can just replace this with 9 and delete this here, and we'll get the desired result, right? So you could do this, what I'm doing here in multiple ways. You can do a while loop, right, from the node to the end, and for each value replace it with the one after it. So replace 5 with 1, and then replace 1 with the one after it, 9. So that's one way to do it. But another even simpler way to do it is just replace 1 with the value of the node with the value of the node next to it. So this would be 1, right? And then make this point to the next one and remove this, right? Because you already put its value here, and that way we are done. That's all we need to do. So no matter how big is the linked list, we'll do only one operation. So that's actually even better and easier to do. So let's do that. So what does that mean? So we want the value of the node to be the value of the next one, so that we erase the value of the node. So that would be the value of the next one. What else do we want? We want once we replace it, we want this to point to the next one, because we already, now the value of this one is in the node. So how do we do that? Well, we could just say it's the node that next now should be the next of the next, right? Because the next was this one. We want it to be the next of it. And so that would be just next, right? And that should be it. So if we run this, it should work. Now, yeah, it passes here. Now, how does it work in this case? Well, in this case, we replace with 9, right? And the next of the next is none, right? It's nothing. And so we will point to that instead. And so this node will end up being the last, and this is removed, right? So it works for this case as well. So let's submit the solution and make sure it passes. Okay, so that passes test cases. In terms of time complexity, this is of 1. We are just doing 2 operations. In terms of space, nothing also, because we are not using any extra space. So that's pretty much it for today's problem. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.